name's Eve. I'm the clinic nurse here at Horizon House, and I might be a familiar face to some of you and a new face to some of you, so hi. Today I'm going to talk about blood pressure and what is your blood pressure, and I'm going to weave in the importance of hydration. Because in the clinic, these are two issues I see a lot. People come and take their blood pressure, and then they come and hand their little card to me and they say, hey, is this a normal blood pressure? And I always say, well, I don't know what's normal for you. So I want to explain the whole world of blood pressure so it makes more sense to you and you know what to do with it and what these figures mean, and also why you should really drink your water. So the heart, as you know, is being used or described as a pump, but it's just a muscle, and its function, it has quite a few functions, but its main function is to propel blood around your body. And the way it does that is it pushes it out through the arteries. And when your heart contracts, the pressure that it sends the blood through and the pressure that the blood exerts on the arterial walls is the high number of your blood pressure. It's called the systolic, so that's the top high number. So that's the blood going through from the heart to the artery, and the pressure that that blood puts on the arterial wall. So that's the highest number, the highest pressure that is in your arteries. And when the heart relaxes in between the beat, that's the lower number, the diastolic, and that's the pressure that the blood is going through the arteries when the heart is resting. So those are the two, the systolic over the diastolic. The high pressure at the beat, the contraction, and the lower pressure when it's relaxed. Now, things that can affect your blood pressure, oh my goodness, there's so many long lists. We'll start with the lifestyle things. So that could be smoking, being overweight, having diabetes, being on certain meds, stress, lack of sleep, caffeine, high-fat foods, high cholesterol foods. They all affect the blood pressure. Why and how do they do that? Well, some of them make the arteries less elastic. So as the heart is contracting and your arteries can't expand to absorb or carry the blood, that creates backup pressure in the heart and raises your blood pressure. So we want to keep those arteries running smoothly. We want those walls to be smooth. And the metaphor I like to use is a hose. So when you're watering the garden, when you turn that water on full force, that's when the heart is contracting. And you know the hose is lovely and taut and full of water. But say your water has a high sediment in it, or your hose has got some schmutz in it along the walls of it, or leaves, and you turn on that full force, you know you're going to get back up into the tap or the hose is going to explode. And that's what happens when you have a heart attack or a stroke. There's too much pressure going through and something gives. So the reason we want to focus on the whole picture of lifestyle is because we want to keep the arteries functioning well by healthy habits. Because just taking blood pressure meds to lower the numbers of your blood pressure doesn't get to the cause of the problem. So we really need to look at the whole picture of lifestyle. So we want to eat well, we want to exercise, we want to not smoke, not drink too much, alcohol effects, caffeine effects. So when the arteries are under too much stress from your lifestyle choices, they harden, but also the walls get sort of sore. And then fatty deposits are easier to adhere to the wall, and then that makes the diameter of the artery narrower, and of course your poor heart is just going, I gotta pump that blood, so I'm gonna contract harder. And we don't want that. We don't want a tired heart, because you know we don't feel good with tired hearts. So we want to stay healthy, and hydration is a huge part of that. So when you're dehydrated, that can actually elevate your blood pressure and lower it, depending on who you are. So if there's not enough fluid in your body for the heart to keep the volume going through, the heart has to work harder. And then you feel some of the symptoms of dehydration are dizziness, tiredness, lightheadedness, lack of balance, So it's very important to keep up your fluid intake, to keep your heart healthy and your arteries healthy. And they say 6 to 8 glasses of water. So tea and coffee doesn't count because they are what we call diuretics and they have caffeine in them. And you know what caffeine does? It makes your heart beat faster. What does your heart beating faster do? Elevates your blood pressure. It's all connected. So keep that caffeine down and increase your water intake. And the tip that I use is decide how much water you want to drink a day, your 6 to 8 glasses, get a container and put the water in the morning and finish it by the afternoon. So you're not up peeing all night. What I want to end on is that the definition of hypertension changes all the time. It used to be 140/90 is considered hypertension. That means a high blood pressure, and they start looking at what are the factors that are creating that. So the problem with that is that if you are a healthy person who doesn't have any other what are called comorbidities, like the list I gave you, stress, overweight, smoking, diabetes, meds, if you don't have any of that and you have a higher blood pressure, you might never get any problems throughout your whole life because you can deal with it. Your body can adjust to that. You might have a lower, more normal blood pressure, but you have a lot of comorbidities and that still puts you at risk. So blood pressure is not the only thing we want to look at, and it's not always indicative of a problem. It's really the whole picture of your lifestyle. What I recommend is taking your blood pressure. If you're going to do it daily, don't sit and take it 3 or 4 times unless your doctor asks you to. Take it once or twice at the most. Sit for 5 minutes calmly before you take it. The reason is because exercise elevates your heart rate. Elevating your heart rate elevates your blood pressure. So you want to sit quietly. We don't want to know what your blood pressure is when you just walked from the West Wing and you are a little bit stressed and you take your blood pressure. We want the one where you're calm and just sort of at a normal level. So that's the one we want to get. Take it the same time every day. Your blood pressure goes like this throughout the day, depending on what you're doing, what you're eating, how you're feeling, whether you slept, so many factors. So try and erase the factors by doing it same arm, same time, sit quietly, and we'll get a kind of average. Good luck. It's not easy taking care of oneself, I know. And as we age, things wear out. And it's just part of the picture, isn't it, of being human. So please come see me if you have any questions or if I complicated the matter for you, or if you need some support in getting healthy. And I love to support people. So good luck and goodbye.